So, good afternoon. Today, Verena, Melanie, and I are going to talk about the communication strategy for Baby Info, AKS Gesundheit Vorarlberg. And first, let me tell you about the agenda. The aims and objectives of Baby Info are going to be first. Then we're going to define the target group. We are going to then look at the stakeholders. Then Melly is going to talk about Baby und Kind Messe Dornbirn. Then Verena is going to talk about the communication methods and activities, the budget and finance, the time frame, and we're going to finish with the evaluation. So first of all, the aims and objectives of our campaign. The aim is really to raise awareness of the information and services provided by the AKS, which is pretty much an Austrian organization that deals with health promotion. And I'm sure we all agree that all parents must know where they can find comprehensive and reliable information concerning maternity and their newborns. However, there's actually some problems and obstacles for this, such as there's just too many sources. I'm sure like if you type into the internet maternity information or baby information, you're going to come up with an entire slew of things and you might just get overwhelmed and confused, as well as the fact that there's so many opinions that are not really aligned with one another, which makes it really difficult for new parents to gather the right information. So the way that we are going to look at the baseline or measure the baseline is by looking at the degree of popularity of the AKS website, and basically we're going to measure the amount of times that the website was accessed within a certain amount of time. So like by the end of the year of like the first year of the campaign, we look at how many times the website has been accessed. And then that can subsequently be compared to any further years. And so to talk about the target group, the target group is about the expectant parents and legal guardians, specifically young parents, socially deprived, migrant backgrounds, and lower educated parents. And of course these should not be included from information concerning things such as breastfeeding or baby nutrition or sudden infant death syndrome. And specifically young parents and lower educated parents may have difficulty accessing this information due to a lack of awareness of the AKS in the first place. Whereas, for example, parents from migrant backgrounds may have difficulty because they don't feel like they're being addressed in the first place, or they might be struggling with such things as language barriers. And Melanie is now going to talk about the stakeholders.
Thank you, Angie. So good afternoon also from my side. I would like to tell you something more about the other stakeholders we could identify. So first, there are the educational institutions with a high power and interest in our campaign. For educational institutions, we meant about schools like Hauptschule, Mittelschule, Polytechnische Lehrgang, Volkshochschule, and Berufsschule, since they are directly in contact with future parents and they are highly, there are many migrants in these schools, and it's not that a high educational level, so the target group might be found there. The cultural and religious associations for us means an important multiplier source for migrants, especially since with them we can easily reach the people with migrant background and also especially women with a migrant background, since they are often hard to reach or to address with information and with our communication strategy. There are numbers of cultural and religious associations also in the different municipalities, but also in the different regional levels, such as Vorarlberg and the other regions in Austria. We're going to start with Vorarlberg, but later on the campaign is going to be spread all over Austria. So examples for the cultural associations in Vorarlberg, there is the Turkish Islamischer Bund, Mutter-Kind-Treff für türkische Mütter, like the mother and child meeting for Turkish mothers, and so on. So we can, like, we have a great chance to meet these people by addressing the association. The public institutions are also important for us, since the Youth and Welfare Office and the Social Service Office and others like those are of high interest in our campaign. The medical professionals are like the GPs, the gynecologists and the pediatricians. Since they are in direct contact with our target group, they have a high power in spreading our information. So they are a really trustful group for the target group. The childcare means kindergarten and also childcare for infants and for babies. So they are very important for families who already have a first baby, and then when they're expecting the second one or third one, they are still very interested in information on babies. Lidl and other companies producing baby material and food, they might also be interested in our information, since they themselves also spread lots of information material, so maybe they are interested in our campaign as well. Lidl particularly is of interest for us, since we would like to cooperate with them, and we would like to build our campaign on their corporate social responsibility. The leading health associations like the Ärztekammer might also be interested in our campaign, but also of power, since they are working together with the GPs, the other doctors, and also the social security, the social insurance, and so on. The public sector, the municipalities, and the regional and national level is also middle or higher interest and power. Then at next, the Baby and Kindmesse in Dornbirn. First, like when we started with our project, we were thinking about stand at the trade fair of Messe Dornbirn, the Baby and Kind. Next year in January, it's going to be the first time that this trade fair will be, and it's parallel with the Hochzeit and Event Messe in Dornbirn. So it's rather addressing a higher and middle income target group. Therefore, we decided that it might not be appropriate for our target group, like particularly. There's going to be an entrance fee of about 5 to 10 euros, and there are going to be many competitors from the baby production of baby product industry. So probably there are going to be a lot of competition, and also some problems with incentives. So we could have problems with getting people come to us or to our stand, since maybe they are maybe the visitors think other stands are more interesting for them because they have incentives, but we only provide information. Of course, our information is very important, but maybe they might not be aware of this. And last but not least, the continuity could be a problem, because the Messe is only once a year, but our program actually should be continually, and the information should be spread like always and not only once a year. So now I would like to hand over to Verena.
Okay. With the help of the logical framework matrix, I will try to explain what we're going to plan. First of all, with our communication strategy, we first mainly want to bundle information, not give information, but just show the people or our target group where to find further information about babies and health. So we want to, with the help of our activities, we want to create clearer information and that people actually know where to find the information on the website of AKS. With clearer information, they're probably going to have a better knowledge, and in general, it should be an increasing in the health status of babies and families. Our communication methods and activities, it's going to be a multiple approach, and we want to raise awareness. And how we actually going to do this is focusing mainly on posters and folders. And the picture, as you can see here, this one is going to be remaining constant throughout all the measures we're going to implement. So on every poster, on every folder and flyer, there's always going to be this baby. So the recognition of the whole campaign will be like constantly, and people remember the campaign and put it into relation to the AKS. So we're gonna hang up those posters in Dornbirn, the city of Dornbirn, in offices of health medical professionals, and at the Lidl grocery store, about which I'm gonna tell you more a little bit later. And on those posters and flyers, we're gonna put a slogan called "Objective Information for Your Baby." It's gonna be in German, but for now it's in English. And with several headlines on different posters, like, for example, "What about me?" or "Inform yourself now." So actually, like, the baby is telling the mom that she should get informed and know what is important for me as a baby. And so the folders, how will we provide or distribute the folders? First of all, there's going to be so-called baby box, which is given to young mothers or mothers who just gave birth in the hospital. Baby box are basically a box with different information about babies, about health of the babies, and as well provides like a few items which are needed in the first few months or weeks of the baby. And we're gonna put our flyer into that box, so the parents get informed right away and know where to find further information. As well, medical professionals going to distribute the baby info brochure, so that actually shows that the patients or moms can trust the whole campaign, because, I mean, if medical professionals are providing this information, it sort of has to be good. As well, as already mentioned, migrants are one target group of our project. And we want to integrate them in our project and in the process of the whole campaign. So we're not going to go directly to the migrants, but spread the message through multipliers, like the heads of cultural associations. So we're going to give them the flyers and brochures, and if they like, they translate them into their own language and add some further information if they think they need it. So they actually feel integrated, involved, and we guess the result's going to be more effective. As well, as already mentioned, Lidl's going to be one partner of us, because, well, the reason why we chose this grocery store is because we think that all our target group are actually going to buy their stuff in Lidl, for example, because it's cheap, and young parents, migrants, and people which are not so well educated and the job they have is not well paid, have all financial problems, and so I think, or could have financial problems. So it's really like for that they actually gonna go there and do their shopping there. So we're gonna hang up our posters there, and maybe you've noticed in those shopping carts, they're often like those small little things where you could put, like where you put in some AdWords, and we're gonna put our posters in there, so their awareness rises throughout the shopping period. Then another target group, as already mentioned, are the young parents, and therefore Facebook social medias are essential. Until now, AKS has nothing on Facebook, not a profile, not a link, nothing, so they should implement a profile, and as well we're going to put on Facebook banners, so young parents are actually seeing AKS and know that they're existing and that further informations are on their website. As well, we want to implement applications on smartphones, so they get the information via smartphones in those apps, because everybody has access to it by now. How we're gonna actually show the people that this campaign is existing. We're gonna do a kick-off event, a so-called promotion day, which will be set up on the 15th of December in Dornbirn, and on this day we basically going to distribute flyers, the brochures, giveaways like pacifiers, where we're going to put on either the baby or the domain of RKS. So they actually have something in their hand. And we're going to distribute this with the help of volunteers, which is going to keep the costs low, and it's easy to, yeah. What else? Yes, good. How are we going to finance this? This table is basically only for the first year, and this may be the budget, like 55,000 euros. They didn't give us any budget anyway, so they said we have ideal possibilities, and yes. So what they truly have to do, they have to invest in their website, because until now it's only in German, but if they want to address migrants, they have to translate it in other languages, like Turkish or Croatian, or like the main languages which are needed. And as well, like folders probably gonna be one investment, since we just need quite a lot. And I think giveaways are also important, so they actually have something they actually need for their babies. So as I mentioned, this is only for the first year. There are going to be quite a lot of investments, and but it's going to reduce over the next 2 years because, as Melly now going to mention, the time frame.
Thank you. Okay, so as I already said, the kickoff event of our campaign is going to be the 15th of December, downtown Dornbirn, with the pacifier action, and also with the we will start to distribute the folders. The whole campaign gonna be over a 3-year period, and the implementation of all activities is gonna be in the first year, and later on it can still be adjusted and identified what was the most effective ones, and then the campaign gonna continue during the next 3 years. The evaluation finally will be by counting or evaluating the increased number in clicks on the RKS website. So according to the baseline, we then can figure out how did the number increase or change. And optionally, we could also ask the visitors to create a profile there, for example, to use the forum or some other actions there. And then we could even analyze the visitors' profiles according to their background, if there are migrants and whatsoever. So on behalf of my group and our baby, I would like to thank you for your attention.